I got to say, I'm pretty happy with the way this prototype came out. Pretty much what I envisioned initially. Well, it's actually plan B. My initial plan was to do something a little different from this, but after thinking about it some more, this is ultimately the design that I came up with. As usual, I like to try and keep things quick, cheap, and easy. Functional, obviously. I want to make sure that it works and lasts a long time. So it's got some good materials, and I'm happy with the way it came out structurally. I've got to make 8 more of these. I do have one thing I got to address, which is, as you just saw, I was pulling it away to get my angle. And our system isn't designed to have the panels adjusted if you didn't want to, basically, if you just left them where they were designed to be, whatever angle they recommend. And here in the northern hemisphere, I guess somewhere around 30 degrees or so. It would be maybe to our advantage. We'd have to obviously get the system up and running and see exactly what happens during the winter time. Obviously the winter and the sun is very low in the sky, so a lower angle would probably be ideal, although probably not necessary. So I got to address coming up with some kind of a bracket that will be able to keep this up, which shouldn't be too complicated as far as just a brace. But it would be nice if I could make it so it was adjustable for at least twice a year, just if for no other reason, to play around with it and see if it does give us any advantage. When we bought this system, we were told basically that they design it for our worst case scenario, which is the worst, they call it the shoulder season for the winter time, which is the shortest days of the year. We don't get much sun, obviously, and so they said you could typically, I mean, they're not going to guarantee it, but they basically said, as an example, this system's probably designed to take you 2 weeks of no sun in the middle of winter. The way they've set it up and designed it for our specific purpose here. So he told me it would not be necessary to move the panels twice a year, but if you wanted to, go ahead, basically. So at any rate, so now that I know my design works, it's time to start making some more of these, which means I got a lot of metal to start cutting. And this is all the material for enough to do 8 more of those frames. And each one holds 2 solar panels, which I've got underneath my little tarp over here. But I've got all my measurements. I've taken notes of what I need, and I'm ready to get set up. I'm going to get the saw set up here and we'll get cutting. Now, helps a little bit with keeping the sun off my back. These are the 2 panels, in case anybody hadn't seen the other video. I had the rack that I just showed you mounted on the side of the container. These are the 2 panels that it was bolted to. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come up with an idea for bolting them to the rack before I hang them, or if I'm going to have to hang the brackets and then put the panels up on the bracket. I'm hoping I can just mount them on the ground and then pick the whole assembly up and hang it, but might require a couple hands for that, whereas I could probably do the other way by myself. Grateful for battery power tools. Perfect. 1 down. 15 to go. All right, I don't know how long that took, but it wasn't too bad. I did go through 1 blade. I think that's because I attacked it too hard one time and knocked out a few teeth, and from there it just goes downhill pretty quick. But there's my long pieces for each bracket. There'll be 18 of those. I haven't counted them, but I trust my math. And then now I just got to cut these rebar. I got 2 different sizes. I got some extra pieces down here were left over from this, and I still got to cut my 3-inch brackets to weld to the top of the container that hold obviously the whole assembly. So I'll probably take a few of those, and then I don't know if I'll have enough to come up with something, as I was saying earlier, with trying to figure out how to come up with something to hold the panels away from the container at a certain angle. So we'll see if I can figure something out. In the meantime, I'm going to get a little bit of daylight left. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some of this rebar up. I got my measurements here somewhere. Let's get cutting. So this is the template I made up just to kind of hold things in place. I've got a couple of angle irons on each side here to hold it to the proper width, which is 35.5 inches. And then I've got my rebar here at the end, which gets welded in. And then my support pieces going down to both sides, and another piece over on the end. And of course we have to drill the holes out for the panels here. So there's 4 holes on each side. For that, I've got another template I made here. It matches exactly. So I'm trying to keep everything as consistent as possible, obviously. So down the road, if you have to change something out, it won't be a guessing and what fits what. Hopefully that works out that way. But I've got basically 4 more to go. This is the 4th. So after this will be 3 more. And they do go together pretty easy, even though I'm a little new at the flux core MIG welding. It isn't too much of a problem at all to get a good tack on these. And of course, making sure they're all square. Yeah, so other than that, they're coming out really good. Really happy with it. And it's nice to have some help. A little bit of help I got from my brother to do some of the cleaning up. It's definitely saving me some time. So I will get the welder take out the welder here. We'll get that set up, and we'll see if we can knock out another 1 or 2 today.
How's your day been? Good to see your face. How you doing? Tell me your story. I just want to have a conversation. I just want to make a...
All right, that didn't take too long. Probably takes about, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes. Get that welded up, and I just wanted to show you what I'm using here. I got the titanium 140. It's a MIG, TIG, and stick welder all in one. Works pretty nice. I've never really used one before, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm by no stretch of the imagination any kind of welder, but I know how to get 2 pieces of metal stick together. And to run that, we're using the Harbor Freight Predator 5000 on propane, which I think they recommend gas, but I don't seem to be having any problem with power or anything. It seems to be working pretty well. So that makes 4, 5, 6. I got 3 more to go. I'm going to take the measurement on this, make sure I got it nice and square before I take it off. 98 5/8. All right, so next I got to flip this over so I can drill the holes out with my template. I'm going to let it cool down for a minute because I just finished welding and it's pretty hot. But I'll go ahead and knock the slag off of it while I'm waiting for it to cool down.
living and fighting like hell.